everybody. Just brought in the ecosystem. It's doing really well. These plants have started taking over since the flood happened. And despite all the grasses looking dead, if you look down into here, a bunch of new baby sprouts are coming out. Like, look over here. And there's even a dandelion starting. There's also another dandelion starting over here, right here. And then there's a third one, which is way down there, that tiny little sprout from dandelion seeds I put in here. I didn't think they were originally going to grow, but apparently they did. And this spot still needs to dry out so the seeds can finish sprouting, and there's still a bunch more seeds coming off these grass plants. Yeah, there's a pepper plant right here I planted. It's growing good. And over here, there's a strawberry plant right there. And there's a couple of tomato plants starting from a tomato I put here earlier in the season. Over here, cattails, doing amazing. Yeah, about the same size as the ones I have fished, just a little bit smaller. Some of them are. Others are still baby. But if you go down and look in here, there are a ton of worms. So if you don't like worms, you probably should look away. Yeah, those are all worms. They survived the original drought, but I think that's only because it lasted like a couple of days. It's funny, it took weeks for me to get these in, and now they've just gotten way too much. They're everywhere. And they're hard to get out of here, because if I could get them out easy, like the tiny daffodil that you see right there, I would feed them to the fish, but they do not like to be taken out of here since they hide in the soil. But it's only about to down here where they'll hide where all the soft soil, as you can see, is. But down here, over here, there's some small roots from the plants ashore, and maybe some seed sprouting. But as you get over here, you see a ton of roots starting to grow. And this whole thing is covered. And hey, look, roly poly. It's right in there. There are some more of the worms. Yeah, there was a sinkhole because there was a cave that I didn't mean to form in here, but it did. From as it slowly sliding to the left, the soil was, and which created a temporary pond. And the worms loosening up the soil slowly makes the soil slide down, filling in the deeper areas. There's a daffodil. More daffodil. And down here there's a bunch of plant roots, which goes all the way around here. There's some more worms, but the crazy thing is, as you get into the deeper water, right there is the last time you see the worms until you get to the other side. And now you can look back, and as you go down, once you get to about the middle, there's a drop, which is right here. It goes all the way down. Way down there. And there's not really much except a couple daffodil, which I find it kind of strange, since this is where all the dead and decomposing things will settle. Like, look at all these dead leaves compared to over here where they're all being eaten. And once you start to get back to the shallow areas, you'll once again see the worms. And was a dead roly-poly. And here's some more of the worms until you get back to the land. And this is where I usually see the roly-polies in here, since it seems like they have formed like a nesting area. I sadly haven't seen any burrowing beetles. They may have died from when it flooded, but I hope they're just in the soil and they haven't come out yet. I did put a caterpillar out here and I saw it eat some leaves like over there and there, but I haven't seen it since then. But all the way down there, as you see, there's a roly-poly, and it looks like one of the slugs. Could just be a dead leaf though. Yeah, it's just a dead leaf, but there's a roly-poly. Another roly-poly right there. Don't worry, that's not a worm moving, that's actually a roly-poly underneath a leaf. And those are all roots from this plant. And right now, there's not really much going through the soil right now. No, not much little creatures, but that's because it's flooded and they're more on the tall plants. But as you see, there are some tunnels from where there used to be burrowing beetles that I don't know if they're still in there. And hey, look, there's another roly-poly. And over here, there's a ton of daffia. Like, these are all nearly microscopic creatures. They start out when they're babies, but as they get older, that you can eventually see them. And there's a clump eating decaying matter, which is a dead leaf. And down here, there are a ton of springtails, like right there, hopping around. Smells like a swamp in here. Like when I put my head down here to see in, well, but that's probably from when I moved it in there, shaking everything up. So yeah, right now there's a ton of springtails on top and a bunch of daffia below. Like the adult springtail. It's really hard to see where the babies are since they're so tiny, and they usually hide in the soil, but once they get to a near adult, they just start living, and they start living on top of the soil or on top of the water, since they will go on top of the water since they can float on it. And as these springtails, I did not know it was going to survive in here. I was hoping they would, but I didn't exactly know, and apparently they did. Since now they are huge, bigger than when I found them, and I have seen a few tiny babies. And the reason why they're on the water is they're looking for like soil, like over there on the edge. That'd be a perfect spot since they need wet, full of organic matter soil, which also looks on the edge of this water. And since from now on, along this water is going to keep on drying out, it'll still stay moist at the bottom of this swampy area, but it won't completely stay keeping this area flooded. Since too much water prevents creatures like roly-polies and the burrowing beetles from living good enough and multiplying. While the springtails, it doesn't really affect them unless it floods where they lay eggs, which usually doesn't happen since it's inside now. So they should continue multiplying like crazy. this is all in here for now. Later videos will probably be longer just because there will be more life as time goes on. New plants. The roly-poly population will probably explode trying to eat everything like happened in that environment until now. Yeah, I've been collecting animals out slowly, but I haven't got all of them, so I haven't thrown out all the dirt. Bye, everybody.